Hello, it's Hammer Time. I'm Stephen Archibald, and in this podcast episode, I'll be exploring those pesky twins of evil.
Oh God, have mercy on this poor, unfortunate creature.
In old Gothic Europe, they had two burning passions: witch hunting and devil worship.
Practice the black arts. They worship the devil. They're all slaves to Count Karnstein, and he is their evil master.
Do you know what I want more than anything else? To meet Count Karnstein.
They look alike. They dress alike. Two identical beauties. But one of them has the very devil in her.
For you, all pleasure should be supreme.
Hello, and welcome to They Came From Within, Cult Movie Reviews. Double Jeopardy, Twins of Evil, 1971. Many Hammer aficionados consider Twins of Evil to be the best film in the Karnstein trilogy. Works which were based on the 1872 novella Carmilla by the Irish writer Joseph Sheridan Le Fanu. Starting off with The Vampire Lovers in 1970 and proceeding with Lust for a Vampire, also from that year. Made on a modest budget of around £205,000, Twins of Evil is a very attractive and often atmospheric gothic horror romp. Its title is somewhat misleading, as only one of the twins qualifies as evil. After their parents pass away, the beautiful twin sisters Frida and Maria Gellhorn, played by Madeline Collinson and Mary Collinson respectively, have to go and stay with their puritanical uncle Gustav Weil, portrayed by the wonderful Peter Cushing. Luckily, their Aunt Katie, who's played by the fine Kathleen Byron, is far kinder and more tolerant. Unfortunately, Weil leads a band of fanatical witch hunters known as the Brotherhood, and he proves to be the most brutal and least discriminate member when it comes to burning women to death whom they believe are witches. Weil doesn't just contain his lethal hatred to defenceless young women, he also detests the debauched Count Karnstein, who's portrayed by the exceptionally handsome Damien Thomas. Karnstein, a descendant of the vampire Mircalla, is growing tired of his hedonistic lifestyle. Unfortunately, he wants to dive deeper into depravity. The Count is granted the opportunity when he stumbles upon the means of resurrecting Mircalla, who promptly turns him into a vampire. Frida, what with her being the heartless, more fearless of the twin sisters, soon falls under Karnstein's spell, and she shows she's willing to be just as debased as he is. Tudor Gates' screenplay sets up a fascinating study into the degrees and shades of evil. Who are the out-and-out villains of this movie? The seductive vampires? Or the fanatics who attempt to burn their way to attaining their concept of purity? Peter Cushing is simply terrific in his role as the Witchfinder, who is vile by name and vile by nature. What's astonishing is that Peter had only lost his beloved wife Helen only a couple of months or so before filming the part. Who knows, maybe acting helped him to process his grief. As Cushing had put it himself, to quote, "I knew the only way to keep going was to keep busy. It did not matter what they offered. I just kept working. It was the only thing that saved my reason."
What's the meaning of this vial? Out witch hunting again? You've come to the wrong place.
We seek the servants of the devil.
Well, you've found one. Me. Now get out. Don't let them bother you. Some men like a musical evening. Vile and his friends find their pleasure through burning innocent girls.
Innocent? You do not know the meaning of the word.
Well, I know the meaning of the word intrusion. Do you?
You are arrogant, Count Karnstein, because you have the protection of the court, of the Emperor himself. But there is a higher authority.
Tell that to the Emperor.
God will have his revenge.
Mind he doesn't have it on you. Now get out! Look at them. Gustav Weil and his brave band in search of women. Here. You can have Goethe if you like. If you want some excitement. You'll feel better then. You won't go around burning pretty girls.
Kate O'Mara was strongly considered for the part of one of the sisters. The makers gave up on this idea after they felt that they couldn't find an actress who looked enough like her, much to Kate's annoyance. What I think is so ironic is that they should have considered the French actress Yvonne Furneaux. When I saw her in 2 episodes of the 1960s series The Baron, entitled Masquerade and the Killing, I was convinced she was Kate O'Mara for the first 10 minutes or so she was on screen. Still, the photogenic Collinson twins took her place. They had, by this stage, gained a certain notoriety for being the first identical twins to appear in Playboy magazine. The Collinsons, who hailed from Malta, had their voices dubbed on this picture. On a sombre note, it should be pointed out that both siblings have now passed on. Madeline, who had suffered from emphysema, died on the 14th of August 2014 at the age of 62, and Mary, blighted by bronchopneumonia, left this earth on the 23rd of November 2021. She was 69 years old. Speaking of the Baron, the movie's director, John Howe, served as a second unit director on that show. He performed the same duties on The Avengers and The Champions as well. His big screen credits include Eyewitness from 1970, The Legend of Hell House from 1973, Dirty Mary Crazy Larry from 1974, and American Gothic, starring Rod Steiger and Yvonne De Carlo, from 1988. Also in the cast are David Warbeck and Isabel Black. The Kiwi actor Warbeck portrays a hunky teacher called Anton, who falls in love with Maria, and Miss Black plays his ill-fated sister Ingrid. The veteran actor Dennis Price is on hand as Dietrich, the sleazebag who procures young women for the Count. Twins of Evil had various working titles, such as Vampire Virgins, Twins of Dracula, and The Gemini Twins. Filming began on the 22nd of March and ended on the 30th of April 1971. It was filmed at Pinewood Studios. Black Park in Buckinghamshire was used for some of the exterior shooting. Twins of Evil was released in the UK on the 17th of October 1971 and was distributed by Rank. Its June 1972 US release was distributed by Universal. In a contemporary review by the Los Angeles Times, dated the 25th of August 1971, it was stated, "Among the most sophisticated horror pictures ever produced by Hammer Films, distinguished by an exceptionally well-wrought script, richly detailed period atmosphere, and graceful camera movement." Having starred in the first Karnstein movie, The Vampire Lovers, Ingrid Pitt was unavailable for the follow-up, Lust for a Vampire, due to her being committed to making Countess Dracula. She declined to take part in Twins of Evil. As a result, Makala was played by Katya Wyeth. Miss Pitt's absence may explain why the role was reduced in the version of the movie we ended up with. Still, the movie weaves its spell. If you extracted all of the violence and mayhem, Twins of Evil would come across as a gorgeous looking fairy story. thanks largely to Dick Bush's sumptuous cinematography and Roy Stannard's most attractive art direction. The Eastman colour process was used on this film, and Harry Robinson provided the dramatic score. My name is Stephen Archibald, and thank you very much for listening to my podcast, They Came From Within, Cult Movie Reviews.
These are the men they call the Brotherhood.
Seek out the devil worshippers by burning them!
And this is the sister, who is about to enter the Devilhood.
Look, what do you see? We are the undead, immortal.
The devil has sent me, twins of evil.
You will be Maria now, unsuspected, good and kind. Think of the havoc you can cause.
I thought it was your sister that I loved. But now, I know. Maria.
Twins of evil.